The OCG is doing some rather interesting things as of late with their more metagame builds. So, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another rendition of OCG Thursday. Today, we're looking at Mech Knights with Rose. Basically, being able to be in. They've gotten to this point. So, they can now go Kagari, extend out with the Rose of the Hornet drones, recur back to the Hornet drones, and then have this loaded up for another discard fodder. Which is actually really kind of cool. Outside of that, remember the OCG does have Mech Grisu at 1, which is still a really weird thing, but I guess to be fair, they also have Harp Horror limited to 1. So based on their card choices and things like that, their Chaos Dragon or their Chaos Dragons, their Mech Knight deck is gonna suffer because they had to hit this because they left Harp Horror alone. Yay. Yay, Megrisu Orcus card. So good. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. One copy of Fairy Tale Snow. This is going to be another generic extender for the deck and also an interruption on the opponent's turn. Good thing this card is banned here. We have one copy of Mech Grisu, being able to drop the World Legacy card, also acting as a Mech Knight for combo. Yep, this card is literally the best of both worlds, and this deck looks to exploit both engines. And then we have this. So we've talked about Grinder Golem in the past, and this card is actually just an unfair advantage generator because you continuously get to go tokens, bounce this back to your hand with the good cards here. You basically get to make these auto-link 4 plays that a little bit unfair. Alright, you can build your entire toolbox based on a single Grinder Golem. Also, with it being searchable off of Dark Spirit's Mastery is a little bit unfair at times. We have a single copy of Maxi. We have triple copies of the Mech Knight Blue Sky, triple copies of the Purple Nightfall, one copy of Symbol Skeleton, one copy of Harp Horror, one copy of an Orcust Nightmare, triple copies of Gamma, because this is probably still one of the best hand traps in today's modern format, one copy of Rose, and then we have one copy of Chaos Creator. So, cannot be normal summoner set. Hey, Chaos Space searchable. Alright. Banish Light and Dark. If you control this card that was special summoned from the hand, you can target 3 banished monsters with different names, and then special summon one of them. Then place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So what happens when I do full Orcus combo, and I want to go ahead and extend on out through the Chaos Creator, loading back my pieces back into the deck? Yeah, that's a little bit BS. I'm not going to lie. We have one World Wand with one driver as well. Spells, we have 2 copies of Called by the Grave, triple copies of Chaos Space, one Cosmic Cyclone, 2 copies of Crossout Designator with triple copies of Dark Spirit's Mastery, one Foolish Burial with 1 Mind Control, one Babel with 1 Hornet Drones, and 2 copies of Engage. It's truly a different world out there. We also have 1 Union Carrier, 1 Topological Bomber Dragon, 1 Kagari, 1 Security Dragon with 1 Longrisu, 2 copies of Link Karibo, 1 Nightmare Unicorn with 1 Phoenix, 1 IP, 1 Galatea with 1 Curious, 1 Akashic with 1 Access Code, and 1 copy of the Yielding Risu. Side deck here we have triple copies of Artifact Lancia, 2 copies of Pankratops, 2 copies of Nibiru, the Space Rock, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Mind Control, 1 Triple Tactical Talents, 2 Twin Twisters, 1 D-Barrier, 1 Impure Order, and 1 copy of Emptiness. Wrapping up what appears to be modern-day Orcust Mech Knight, the deck. And as I said, it's still mind-boggling to me that this card does nothing here. And just because the OCG has this card at 1 allows this entire deck to be playable in an entirely different environment. So think about that. Alright? Just 1 card makes all the difference for an entire structuring of a deck. And I mean, this card exists too in their format. Thank God we don't have to deal with this. Next up is new Dragon Link. Now, the OCG's been doing some really crazy things with this deck since they've got new Dragoonity stuff. So Legatus here, if you control a Dragoonity monster or Dragon Ravine, you can special summon this card from hand. If you control a Dragoonity monster or monsters in your Spell and Trap card, you can target 1 Spell and Trap down the field and destroy it. Alright? Hey, it's an extender. It's good. And then we have Remus. So, cannot be used as synchro material, except for a synchro of a Dragoonity monster. They're learning here. You can discard this card to add a Dragon Ravine from your deck to your hand. If you control a Dragoonie monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but banishment leaves the field. And you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except for Dragon-type monsters. Not a problem. It's another extender. Alright, also a little baby rock. So, we have one copy of Absolrouter Dragon, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 2 copies of Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, still amazed that they have these at such high numbers, 1 copy of Lavioneer for hand ripping, 1 copy of Legatus, and triple copies of Remus, 1 copy of Magna Rocket, 1 little baby rock, triple copies of Gamma, 1 copy of Recharger, 1 Rocket Synchron, 2 copies of Tracer, 1 copy of the Silva Rocket, triple copies of Starleaf Save Fort with triple copies of Wyvern Dragon Buster with 1 driver. I would rather deal with these in slightly higher numbers than have to deal with LP being legal. Is that a hot take? I think so. We have 1 Boot Sector launch, 2 Called by the Grave, triple copies of Chaos Space, triple copies of Dragon Ravine, and triple copies of Quick Launch, wrapping up the main deck. Maybe Ice Cold Killer was right here. Maybe Chaos Space might be a problem here. The more I kind of look at this card, the more intimidating that this card becomes. Extra deck here, we have triple copies of Striker Dragon, 1 Quad Boral, 1 Heavenly Spheres with 1 Pisty, 1 copy of Romulus, 1 copy of Deligerus with 1 Boral Sword. Then we get the 1 copy of Boral End. So remember, this is a Link 5. Sin cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, neither player can target this card with monster effects. Alright? This card can attack all monster your opponent controls, once each. And the quick effect, you can target 1 effect monster on the field and 1 rocket monster in your graveyard. Negate the effects of that monster on the field, and you get to splash summon the rocket monster from your graveyard. Your opponent can activate cards or effects in response to this card's effects activation. So this card is busted on a 3500 body too. We also have 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, 1 Gay Dirge, 1 Crystal Wing with 1 Chaos Ruler, with 1 Boral Load Savage Dragon. Then down here we have 1 Lancia, 2 Pankratops, 1 Quackimera Draco, triple Mag C, 1 Nibiru, triple copies of Dark Ruler No More, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Order, and 2 copies of Red Rebuto, wrapping up this list. And then last but not least, on the same engine here, we have Chaos Dragons. Chaos Thunder Dragons, essentially, but just more Thunder Dragons. Remember, the OCG does have access to Colossus. It's really amazing that the OCG gets to abuse this the way they do. So, we have 1 copy of Aloof Lupine, triple copies of Astral Blossom in Joyous Spring, 2 copies of Solar, 2 copies of Black Dragon Collapse Serpent with the 1 Grinder Golem. I'm surprised that they're not trying to play Dark Spirit's Mastery, but I guess if you do draw this, you do draw it, and it is what it is. We have 1 Max C, triple copies of Thunder Dragon, triple copies of Thunder Dragon Dark, 1 copy of Thunder Dragon Duo with 1 Dragon Hawk, 1 Dragon Lord, triple copies of Thunder Dragon Matrix, 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Roar, and 2 copies of White Dragon Wyvern Buster. Spells, we have 2 Allure Darkness, 2 copies of Called by the Grave, triple copies of Chaos Space, 1 Gold Sark, 1 Harvey's Feather Duster, 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Fusion with 1 Imperial Order, 1 Imperman, 1 Emptiness. Down here in the extra deck, we have basically 1 Striker Dragon, 1 Security Dragon, 1 Mr. Verti Anaconda, 2 copies of Link, 1 Unicorn with 1 Phoenix, 1 Heavenly Spheres, 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Apollosa, 1 Akashic, triple copies of Thunder Dragon Titan, and 1 copy of Colossus. And then side deck here, we have 1 Lancia, 2 copies of Pankratops, 1 Nibiru, triple copies of Crossout Designator, triple copies of Lightning Storm, triple copies of Dimensional Barrier, and 2 copies of Light Imprisoning Mirror, wrapping up a very, very metagame-filled event decklist spread for everybody. So this is all we have for OCG Thursday. As I said, please leave a comment down below, as per always. Tell me what you guys think about this run of decks. Not too much Rogue going on this week, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, as we kind of get to see a really cool spread for different card takes and what decks would look like here versus what we'll be seeing here in the near future. Alright guys, I'm out. Peace. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCole40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCole40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcolegames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.